purpose of this next walkthrough exercise is to show you how to download and install the Workfront Fusion Dev Tool, as well as walk you through the different areas such as live stream, scenario debugger, and the different tools available. To be successful at this walkthrough exercise, you want to be in your Fusion system and on a current scenario, as well as have an additional tab open to your Chrome extension area. To download the Workfront Fusion Dev Tool, you'll want to first click the link below these training videos. Once you've downloaded the zip files, you'll need to extract them to a folder of your choice. Next, you're going to go into a tab within your browser and type in Chrome://extensions to access your Chrome extensions area. At the top right-hand corner of this area, you'll want to toggle to developer mode using the switch at the top right. Turning on developer mode will then make the button Load Unpacked visible. Click on Load Unpacked and select the folder containing the dev tool. Go ahead and select that folder, and then you'll notice that it now appears as one of the extensions in your browser. If I go back into my Fusion system, I can type F12 or possibly function F12 to make my Chrome developer tool pop up, and you'll notice that the furthest tab to the right is the Workfront Fusion Dev Tool.
Let's start by returning to our using data stores to sync data scenario. I'm going to select F12 or possibly function F12 on my keyboard to get my Chrome extension dev tools to appear. In the middle of this area, you'll see the Workfront Fusion extension tool. On the left-hand panel of this section, you'll notice you have three areas to navigate between: live stream, scenario debugger, and tools. In this first video, we're going to cover the usefulness of the live stream and the scenario debugger, followed by another video where we'll go into the tools and test a couple out. If I leave it in live stream, and then I go and click run once in my scenario above, my scenario will begin to execute and we'll be able to monitor the events as they occur down below here. As I click on one of the events that has occurred, you'll notice in the right-hand panel, I can view the request headers, request body, response headers, and response body. From a support perspective, this gives me a huge amount of information on exactly what's happening behind each module and the executions performed. The live stream is perfect when you're building, testing, or troubleshooting a scenario that's behaving incorrectly. The scenario debugger is much more useful when thinking about historical information in executions. I can, of course, leave it in my scenario designer and click through and view information per module. But a huge benefit is going to be when you return to the history of an execution. For instance, this top one. I can click on details and view the blueprint of the scenario as it was configured at the time of the execution. And I can go into the scenario debugger and see what type of information was passed through each module at the time of this execution. You'll get the same request headers, request body, response headers, and response body per operation performed on individual modules. If we return back to our scenario designer and go to the tools section in the Workfront Dev Tool, you'll see that there's a variety of advanced troubleshooting and designing tools available for you to use. We won't go through all of them in this training, but we want to highlight copy filter and swap connection. We feel that these are going to be your most commonly used tools as you're building, testing, and designing your scenarios. For copy filter, this allows me to take a filter that I built somewhere in my scenario and copy it elsewhere. The benefit here is sometimes you're going to be adding modules in between your scenario design, and you need to move a filter to a new spot. Copy filter allows you to select a source module and a target module. In this case, we have a not in data store filter between the router and the get variable modules. Remember that filters are connected to the module on the right, meaning it belongs on the left-hand side of this get variable module. If I want to move it from this spot right after the router to between the get variable and the add or replace a record module, then my source module is going to be that get variable, which is module 8. Make sure you use that module ID to help you get the right one. And my target module is going to be the add or replace a record, which is module 9. Now I'll scroll down and click run. And once I do that, you can see that the filter now exists in both spots because we copied it over. To remove it from after the router, I simply need to click into it, delete the label and the condition, and click OK. Now for the swap connection module. To understand the value of swap connection, we need to put on our imagination hats and pretend that for whatever reason, our Workfront connection in this scenario was broken or no longer exists. We also need to pretend that instead of just 3 Workfront modules in this scenario, let's say we have 10 or 20. So having to reestablish the connection in each one at a time is going to be a real pain. To utilize the swap connection tool, all I have to do is go into one module and reestablish or create a new connection to a Workfront system. Then once it's established on one module, I can come in and select that as the source. So I'll select as my source module number 4, this matching companies module. Then once I select run, it's going to copy that connection to every other Workfront module within my scenario. This will be hugely beneficial when connection errors come into play. Download a guide for descriptions of these other modules contained here.